yin and yang, life and death, good and evil.
Okay.
Those would be some example.
Okay. Here's a couple scans of him having created. I think it states that he created all of those concepts, like those dual
It's,
concepts.
does that mean it was humans
There's
who
a
created
couple
God?
others.
That man of multiple layers within So what is the like go the scans one by one really quick because it's a lot. Okay, so what is the first scan you sent? Trying to what are you proving with the first scan?
Oh, I was just posting them because I have them labeled as shit, but sometimes the labels don't match what it says. So let me
Whoa.
read them.
Okay.
Actually, I don't know what the first one is. God's. So yeah, you don't need to worry about that one for right now. That's the existence, non-existence, transcendence.
Okay. Um, the second one, I think that's
I think that second scan is also for proving the existence and non-existence. And also, do you see how it says that all things lie within causality? And then those things include by destiny and causality. They're talking about the same things, like he controls all things like through the flow of causality, and the flow, and he created through the flow of causality reasons for sadness, reasons for pain, reasons for life, reasons for death. To be human, it means love and hatred, pain and pleasure, life and death. All of these are what it means to be human. And then Griffith transcends the like what it means to be human. Like he transcends individuality and transcends the entirety of the multiple layers of the human consciousness. Or the idea of evil does, and the idea of evil is just a part of Griffith. So all the other dualities and all of these other concepts should also lie within causality, since all things lie within causality. And then do you also see the stuff about him being born from the swells of mankind? And it's also stated that he is the reason that mankind is even able to have a consciousness. Like he created the common consciousness. So he would have at one point have had existed and not existed, meaning that he would transcend that duality of existence and non-existence. And I also think him transcending like individuality and duality would also mean that he's like what is it? What's the term on that used on Verse Battle Wiki? True general trans duality, since he, or at least nature, binary logic, or duality. Yeah, so it would be true general trans duality because he transcends the concept of individuality. Do you follow? Did you see all that? What the fuck?
Yeah, he said he can't hear anything.
Oh shit! Hello?
Oh
I'm
my god.
back. Holy shit! I have my shit turned down. My bad. Were you responding this whole time?
No, I think he lagged out.
Who? Oh, he can't.
Yeah,
Oh,
'cause we
Zeref
heard you.
can't hear anyone.
yeah, I literally couldn't hear anything. I thought you just weren't talking. Okay, that was weird.
Okay, yeah, I had my. Okay, okay. I thought I was tripping. Okay, okay, okay. Didn't we start over from the top?
Yeah, start over from the top. I didn't hear anything.
Okay, so the first scan, you don't need to worry about that for right now. We'll come back to that. The second
Okay.
scan is him stating that he's the reason for destiny. He controls what all of mankind was meant to do and always was going to do. He even controls the things that transcend mankind's knowledge. Okay.
Okay.
And then you see the thing where it states that he obeys the will of the essence of humankind, and he weaves every man's destiny, and that's why he was brought into existence. Blah 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 blah. All this, that, and the other. You see that, right?
Yeah.
So then
My
that's
problem.
him transcending the existence and non-existence, because
My problem
he's
with the
neither one or
second
nor
scan.
the other.
My problem
Yeah,
with
what's
the
up?
second scan is that he's not like creating like life, death, suffering, right? Mankind, the collective consciousness of mankind wanted a reason why they were suffering, why they're alive,
Hmm.
why they're pain, right? So
Hmm.
their collective consciousness created the idea of evil. This does
Correct.
not necessarily. Yeah. Okay. Then are you saying the idea of evil created these dualities?
Yep.
Like what? All right. How did the idea of evil create these dualities when they existed
Here,
beforehand?
I thought I posted that already. I thought I already explained that. Here, let me get it. Maybe I didn't. No, I definitely did.
Explain
Here,
one more
it
time.
says, God, does that mean that it was humans who created God? Does that mean this terrifying thing? This looks like hell. Some call it that. This is just the surface of the multiple layers of the whole consciousness. You know that this place is terribly human. And then and then this scan about the transcending knowledge,
Which
where it
skin is
talks
this?
about I just posted it again in order so you could keep up.
Okay.
So that's the second scan. And
Hmm.
then this is the scan where he states that he can obeying the will, the essence of humankind. I weave every man's destiny. Does that mean that you're the one who controls that destiny? You're the one who arranged everything. He says that it was established that you would be here in the distant past by influencing levels of human consciousness to pave the way for the times you would be born in. I manipulated history, and merging with blood, I created the lineage that would give birth to the man you are, and creating an appropriate context for you. All the encounters you have had so far were a part of the destiny that led you here.
Okay.
Okay, and then here's the
I,
final scans.
I
So then
don't.
it stated, the destiny. God, what do you want from me? Be as you will. I dwell deep in your heart. I am a part of you. You are a part of your kind consciousness, a part of me. Your desire is my desire as well. Your actions themselves shall prove to be suitable for your kind as a whole. May they bring pain or salvation to mankind. So the idea of evil is the reason that Griffith came into existence. He's the thing that made it so Griffith would always be come into being. Do you
Hmm.
see that scan? And then it's
Yeah.
also stated that the idea of evil is just a part of Griffith.
Okay. So the one thing is that I don't see the implication that would lead me to believe it's outerversal because this just looks like just a higher dimensional fate manipulation, like that is, or destiny manipulation,
It's
whatever you
not
want to
higher
call it.
dimensional fate manipulation, because if it was
Well,
higher dimensional fate manipulation, it wouldn't have always been that way. Griffith
well,
was
it did.
always going to exist, right? Which would mean
Mhm.
that the idea of evil would have always have had created Griffith. And yet
No.
yes, it is. If he was always going to be created, then that means that the idea of evil would have had already have changed it. He said he
Well,
manipulates history. It was established that you would be here in the distant past. So it's
yeah,
already established that he's going to be here, right? And yet
yeah.
at the same time, it's Griffith. The idea of evil is just an aspect of Griffith, another part of Griffith.
Yeah, this still doesn't mean outerversal because the idea of evil what came into existence was brought about into existence. He's not eternal. If he was
He
eternal,
was brought about into existence, and
since the
yet he
Bible.
is the thing that brought himself into existence. The idea of evil is just a part of Griffith. The idea of evil
Hold up,
brought
hold up, hold
Griffith
up, hold
into
up, hold up, hold up.
existence.
Hold up. So the idea of evil was brought into existence, but brought himself into existence?
Yes, that's what it says. That's the
N-
entire complete narrative that I just explained to you.
no. He was brought into existence by humanity's
I
need
dwell
for a
deep in your
reason.
heart. I am a part of you. You are a part of your kind's consciousness, a part of me. Your desire is my desire as well. Your actions themselves shall prove to be suitable for your kind as a whole. May they bring pain or salvation to mankind. Griffith is not the collective human consciousness,
I
right?
never said that.
Okay, but the idea of evil is a part of Griffith. and the
Okay.
idea of which means that the idea of evil must have created and formed. It's also stated that the idea of evil created and formed Griffith. It was so that Griffith was always going to be.
Was the idea of evil caused? Yes or no?
Was the idea of evil caused? Yes. But it was
Okay.
also, but he
Hold
also
on.
caused the thing that caused him.
Okay.
That's
Okay.
what you're
Okay.
not understanding.
Hold on. So let me give you an example. Let's say a
Go ahead.
character of a higher dimension has like
Go ahead.
fate manipulation, right?
hmm
And can they manipulate any form or timeline of fate?
He's not
within a lower-
manipulating anything.
or creating it, whatever.
He's
It
not
doesn't matter.
creating anything.
Okay, what is he doing?
It always was that way.
Okay, how would it always be that way if he was caused? If he came into existence?
He
How would
transcends
it be-
causality.
Well, how can he transcend causality and be caused? That's a contradiction.
Yeah, it is. It doesn't follow cause and effect, right? Transcend it, right? Doesn't follow.
Okay, hold
Yes,
on.
it does.
How are you acausal but caused? Explain that.
Because he transcend. He's not bound by that system. He can do whatever he wants. He's not bound by cause and effect. Because he
Okay,
stated he was brought into existence. You're following, right? But
What
he
is that?
also he was brought into existence. That's what it says on the panel. It says that he was brought into existence to give humankind their reasons, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then it's also stated that he has always been the reason for these concepts that transcend human knowledge. He's the one who's manipulating their history. He's the one who's always been there. He's at the center creating this void from which the human consciousness comes from.
Where specifically did it say always the reason? Where did it say always the reason?
I'll post every single one of the scans in order for you one more time.
No, I just need where it specifically said he was
because
always.
I do keep posting it and I keep going over it and then you keep asking me where it is again. So I'm going to post it for you again.
Well, it never said always the reason. And if something is caused, then it cannot be above causality itself. Because
if something is caused, how could it also cause the thing that caused it? Tell me how that would follow. Right, because he transcends cause and effect. He doesn't have to follow it. Like I don't understand like what you're saying. It's not a contradiction if the assertion that I'm making is true. And the evidence that I'm presenting is you're trying to say it's a contradiction. But it's not a contradiction. It just follows that the idea of evil is not bound by cause and effect in the same logical way that you and I would think. That's why you're confused. That's why you think it's contradictory. Because it doesn't follow the laws of cause and effect.
Okay, sure. All right.
And then do you see how he says all of this is a part of me? And then it shows the big swirling mass. And then it zooms in on the swirling mass. He says, what's this? He says it's an ocean of feelings. All humans have deep in their hearts a common consciousness that transcends individuality. Their collective consciousness as a species. Its dark side is this swelling ocean. I was born from these swells as the ego of the world. And then do you also see how the scan directly preceding that, he's the one spewing it all out. And he says that what Griffith is seeing is simply a part of the idea of evil.
Mm-hmm.
So the idea of evil was created from the swell of mankind, but the swell of mankind was produced by the idea of evil. It's just another part of the idea of evil. And then the idea of evil is just another part of Griffith, but Griffith was created by the idea of evil. The cause and effects don't line up because he transcends causality. That's what I'm telling you. I've told you that already. It's not contradictory. It's just transcendental to the system of causality.
Okay. So, which parts would make him trans-dual though?
I'm sorry? Okay, so he existed and he didn't exist at the same time.
Yeah, that's the only
existence and non-existence. And then I showed you, and then I've shown you, and then okay, that's why I'm trying to keep talking. Don't just keep saying it's single duality. I heard you the first time. So then did you see the evidence that I gave you where it talked about what it means to be human? Did you see those scans where it talks about being human is like life and death, pain and pleasure, and how all things?
No. Yeah, I explained those scans. Literally, those scans are literally just Slan talking about how like Casca is getting raped. I don't think that has anything to do with like transcending dualities.
What? She says such beauty. She says all there, love, hatred, pain, pleasure, life, death. It touches me. Such beauty. This is to be human. This is to be evil. You're trying to say she's just talking about Kosk getting raped. The apostles are
Yeah,
like feeding. Wait, listen. The apostles are, and this is why don't just start talking like when I'm in the middle of trying to tell you what berserk, what's going on in this berserk scene, right? You're trying to tell me about berserk. What's going on is the apostles are feeding on things like the concepts of ideas and dreams and different realities, and these things formed from emotions, right? That's why she's saying life, hatred, pain, pleasure, life and death. It touches me, such beauty. And that's why Slan is also able to appear later in Klipoth or Klepoth, because it has intense mixtures of life, death, love, hatred, pain, and pleasure. It's on those boundaries. That's what she's talking about. She's just not
what?
saying, she's not saying Femto is really pounding the fuck out of Casca's pussy. That
Hold,
shit's tight as shit. That's
hold
not what
on,
she's
hold on.
saying, sir. That's not
No,
what she's
no,
saying.
no. When Slan appeared later, that was after Griffith like merged the astral world.
That
So
wasn't
like,
after. That was before. That was before that.
yeah, I think that no. What chapter was it? What chapter was it?
The chap that was before Guts got his berserker armor after he got torn apart. And then I can get you the scans. I know exactly what I'm talking about. She's saying that the reason he's there is because it's like a cleep cloth or some shit, and she's able to like transform it into her womb. It's not during the because the merge is after the Ganishka arc, and Ganishka is only killed and turned into the world tree after Guts teams up with Zod with the berserker armor. So that's how I know it's before the world merge. That's pre the world merge you're thinking of isn't the Falconia arc. That's way after the berserker armor.
Okay. So what it means to be human is to hold all of these things, but what makes like transcendence above said thing?
Okay. So then Griffith goes beyond these things, right? I've shown you that he delves deeper into it and he transcends like all of the human consciousness, right? He even transcends shit like, what does it say?
Hold on.
Like Baelitz, their splashes, droplets of ideas that have spilled from the sea of eternity, summoned from the other world, right? So, and all of these things like lie deeper within causality, like lie beyond causality. All things lie within causality, and he's talking within the center of the abyss where causality is not like present. Like
Mm-hmm.
he's talking to the idea of evil, and the idea of evil is spewing out causality, which contains everything, including these things like these trans-dual concepts that transcend human knowledge, the entirety of the human consciousness itself that transcends existence and non-existence and various other dualities, and by the statement of void, all things should lie within causality.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have any
So
other questions
no,
of why it's transdual?
no,
Okay. So do you have any
yeah,
other questions about why it's outerversal?
no.
Okay. Did you have any questions in general, like scaling wise? Like
No, that-
curiosities?
no, not re- no.
Okay.
All right.
All right, good debate.
Fucking Richard, send that to me, Richard or Richard, a legend who's recording.